Welcome to today's class. And in today's class, we are going to be looking at one very important aspect of the data analytics, which has to do with data types and analysis. That is, what are the types of data we make use of in data analytics, and what are the type of analysis we're having in data analytics. I think the whole reason for data analytics is collection of data and manipulating the data to have an insight. So it's very paramount you know the kind of data you're going to collect before starting anything inside the journey of data analytics. And before going to the field and collecting any data, it's very important to know what kind of data best suits my objective of this data I'm collecting. What is the objective of the research I'm taking, or what is the objective of the insight I want to create or I want to make after collecting the data. I think this is very important. It's just like someone who wants to eat a food. It's very important for you to know the kind of food you want to eat before going to buy the food stuff. So that is the same thing when talking about data types. Are we getting it? And if you don't know what type of data you're collecting, you might end up manipulating or transforming something that is undesirable. And it's going to give a very false information. Thereby, we can get or we can collect a data that is inappropriate. And collecting data that is inappropriate is going to give you a wrong decision making. It's going to give you a very wrong result for making decision, right? So I want you to believe that knowing data type is very, very important in data analytics. Is there anyone who has a contradiction on that? No contradiction. So that is that. Now, after I have collected the data I need to collect when going to the field, or whomsoever I'm collecting the data from, or I have already getting the data that has already been prepared for me, then it is also important for you to know what is the best kind of analysis I need to carry on. What is the best kind of analysis I need to do on this data? Is that right? For example, so let's go back to giving an example of food. Now you have collected, you have bought your food from the market. Now it's important for you to know what level of fire are you to quench on it, or what level of fire are you to use on it. Sorry, what kind of fire are you what level of fire are you to use on it in order for it not to get burnt. Because there's a level of fire, if you apply on the pot, it can even melt the pot, right? And there is a level of fire that if you put on it, it's going to what? It's going to make the food to be half baked, because it's going to look like as if the cook is done, but it is not done. So the objective of using the fire, or let's make, for example, we are making use of a gas cylinder. So there's an objective, there's a kind of fire that is used to burn for the blacksmithers, the kind of fire they use, right? If you now apply that on the one that you want to cook food for it, you are going to have different results. These results for using the appropriate type of fire when used to the pot, you can have a better result that is giving you a good food. And if you still use that same fire, you can use it to have a bad result, thereby having the pot getting burned, right? So it's very important for you to know the kind of analysis that best give the results we are anticipating. So from the beginning, whenever you're collecting a data, you should know what kind of analysis you want to carry on. What kind of analysis do you want to analyze before collecting the data, or even before you start working on the data? What kind of insight do we want to make? Are we together? So this is very, very important. This is very, very important, right? So this is an introduction to the data types and data analysis. Now, let us now understand something very important in the aspect of data and data types. But now we're going to be starting with the data types. As we stated, data types are classifications that identify the nature of the value stored in a variable. Do we understand anything here? Do you understand anything? We said data types are classifications that identify the nature of the value stored in variables. Now we have looked at our worksheet or workbook. For example, now this is what? Huh? The employee ID. This is what? First name. This is what? Last name. Okay, now let's go back to what we are saying. We said that data types are classification that identify the nature of value stored in variable. Which one is the value and which one is the variable here? This is a value, Kelly, that is stored under which variable? First name. Do you understand? So it's important for you to know what kind of variable are you collecting a data for, and what kind of value are you attaching to that variable. Now if I make a mistake, now here I'm supposed to put first name, then I now put first qualification, we are going to have a very wrong result.